Hey, I'm here in Washington, D.C., mourning the life of Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. To so many, she was, or is, a hero, a powerful legal mind, and a protector of our civil rights and equal liberties. But to me, she was always simply Ruth, a woman of small stature, who has known me since I was about yay high. And we've discoursed everything under the sun, from the treatment of alligators to Bush v. Gore to Rosenkavalier by Strauss. She actually always wanted to be the Marshalline since she was a young girl, because the Marshalline gets the young lover that's half her age. It's to the naming of the Washington Redskins. She had many loves, Marty, her two children, but above most, opera and music. She would be absolutely delighted by the program that you're producing here, Patrick, bringing all of these musicians and incredible performers together, particularly at a time like this. And so proud of every single one of the people that you have on your show, how they've persevered and continued in their crafts. She certainly knew of adversity growing up as a woman in the 1930s and 40s, but she didn't let anything stop her. So I thought what I'd like to do is just play a record or two here and reflect on some poignant quotes that from her that I think she would like to have been reiterated, particularly obviously in these troubled times. So what I have here is a His Master's Voice Victor phonograph made by the Victor Talking Machine Company in Camden, New Jersey in 1912. Serial number 535192, if you're into that sort of thing. Beautiful sound. So here's our first record. This is Dinah Shore with Russ Case and his orchestra, with Dinah obviously on vocals, from 1945. It's a little loud. You'd actually probably be surprised by how loud these things are in vivo. They pack punch. And you know, this was an extremely sophisticated piece of technology for the time, and therefore I believe requires an equally sophisticated piece of technology as a bit of a sound dampener. My socks. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Too often, we seem to try to ram our own viewpoints down each other's throats. Information is the silver bullet. Instead of beating each other down with our viewpoints, we should be lifting each other up with more information about issues or subjects that we care about. If you have a position, it's up to you to convince your audience by legitimate persuasion, not threats or intimidation or deal making. And then my next one is, so often in life, things that you regard as an impediment turn out to be great good fortune. And in that one, someone gave me a quote once that has helped me greatly in my life. Everything you're going through now is preparing you for what you asked for. And I found it to be very true. So I really like this one. So often in life, things that you regard as an impediment turn out to be great good fortune. This one was about her husband, Marty. Marty was an unusual man. In fact, he was the first boy I knew who cared that I had a brain. And I think that quote is, you know, obviously she's just talking about her husband, but you know, it's so important for little girls, women, and you know, she had so much to say about Marty. But another one that I really liked was, I had a life partner who thought my work was as important as his, and I think that made all the difference for me. And you know, that's so true today, you know, male or female, when you find just a partner who is as invested in your goals as you are, and vice versa. I think you've probably found the right person. Let's see how Dina's doing. So the record tends to skip here. Our next record is Just As Though You Were Here by Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra with a young Frank Sinatra on vocals from 1942. The state controlling a woman would mean denying her full autonomy and full equality. We forget about state controls because many of them that we encounter in our day-to-day lives are for our benefit. State control is the reason we have traffic lights and laws in general. Our liberties are usually taken away by the state under the guise of protecting us, safeguarding us, or making our lives easier. Are we okay with ceding any more of our autonomy? And even if we are today, what will the loss of that look like in 50 years? We forget to think about the implications beyond the here and now. And that's why I think that quote is particularly powerful. Next one is, you can disagree without being disagreeable. This was always an important one, because it's so true. It's wonderful that so many people are so impassioned today by this or that. But back to one of the previous ones, it's possible to dissent without creating anarchy, chaos, and havoc along the way. We should all strive to disagree without being disagreeable. Our next one is, Justice O'Connor had set the model. She had breast surgery and she was on the bench 9 days after her surgery. She said, now Ruth, have your chemotherapy on a Friday. That way you have the weekend to get over it. What? This philosophy that she had is something that we've lost over the generations. The idea that we never give in, we never give up, and we stay at it, we persevere, no matter how much we ache or pain or cry. There is more work to be done. There are many things of more importance. There is more change in the world to effect. Every single person out there is a difference maker. Don't be scared. Don't make excuses. If an 80-year-old, 5'3", 120-pound person can get through 4 rounds of cancer, you can get through your aching shoulder or emergency root canal. Pull yourself together and focus on the job, not the other noise and nonsense. Our next one is, real and enduring change happens one step at a time. Yes, 100% yes. Nothing happens overnight, or over the next night, or the next night. That's not how the world works. That's not how ideologies and cultures evolve. We're so used to having everything on demand today. When we start working out, it takes months to get to where we want to be. You can't just pick up a clarinet and know how to make beautiful music. It takes time, practice, failure, frustration, before it emerges like a phoenix. Put in the work today. Today, you must do what others won't, so that tomorrow you can do what others cannot. And finally, I would like to be remembered as someone who used whatever talent she had to do her work to the very best of her ability. My dear girl, that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of how I will remember you, or how an extremely grateful nation will remember you. And now I'd like to ask for a quick moment of silence from everyone. I had to pause a bit because I'm here in front of the stunning Washington National Cathedral, and Ruth was Jewish, but her funeral motorcade just passed right by me, and I was originally irritated by the sirens, but she just came right here. It's a moment. Anyway, I'd like to conclude with this last record, Leave Me a Beautiful Melody, by Dan Ritchie and his orchestra from 1929.
want to believe. It is a beautiful melody, one that will linger on, even when you are gone. It is a beautiful melody, some little love song like you always used to sing to me, will help to make it and the recollection cling to me. I know that my heart will ache in vain, but I will find the pain if you leave me a beautiful melody.